Thanks everyone for joining us on time for today's webinar, where we're going to be decoding and understanding what is the key difference between a one-year PG PM program and a two-year PGDM program. And I've got 4 panelists who are currently a part of the hustle and toil that we're able to see at both the campuses here at SOIL. Let's quickly begin by diving into a quick discussion with all of our panelists. I've been joined by Ashutosh Kumar from the PGPM campus. I've been joined by Alicia from the PGPM campus. I also have Drishti Srivastav and Shambhavi, who seems to be MIA right now, will also be joining us from the PGDM campus. So welcome, panelists. It'll be great if all of you can quickly introduce yourselves before we kickstart. And I urge all the participants to please post your questions in the Q&A section. We are going to be having these candid conversations right now in the upcoming few minutes. So we'll, of course, unpack all the questions that you may have. So over to all of you to please quickly get started with your introduction in no particular order.
Yes. So I'll start. Okay.
Yes, please.
So hi, I am Alicia, and I'm doing a one-year program here at SOIL. So you all are going through the same journey that we have been through a year ago, and I had a very diverse background. I came from an entrepreneurial background, so I thought that is it good to do an MBA after doing a business for 2-3 years? Then I thought that to do my business better, I need to implement or learn some skills. So I thought that I want to do it in a uh, quick and compact curriculum that can give me an exposure to a big picture. So I thought to come up and join one-year program here last year, and I'm very happy uh, after doing this program for 8-9 months, and excited for the next 2-3 coming more months. Over to Ashutosh.
Right. And also, Alicia, if I could just urge you, child, to just speak from the, the same device that you're using, please. Huh? All right. Yes, Ashutosh, over to you.
Thank you everyone. Thank you, Alicia. So yeah, my name is Ashutosh. I am also in one-year PGPM program and also got placed in Volvo Aisha recently. So talking about me, I had around 2.8 years of experience in automobile designing components, basically working with a company who used to design electric and hybrid electric vehicle subcomponents. So that's all about me. And currently I'm a student council member as well over here. So yeah, that's all about me. Thank you.
Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Drishti Srivastav, and I am a BBA graduate, and currently I am pursuing my 2-year PGDM degree in marketing specialization. So I have also got placed in Axis Bank, and I think being a fresher, that is one of the reasons why I joined a two-year program, because being a fresher, I did not have a lot of knowledge about the industry and about which domain I really need to look forward to. So, yeah.
Shambhavi?
Good evening, everyone. This is Shambhavi. I am a first-year PGTM student at SOIL, and my experience so far is something that I cannot really express in words. It's been a very good journey throughout, and right now we are focusing at our internships. I joined the college, basically. I come from a management background itself, and being in SOIL has enriched me with what I got here. My honing of skills, more opportunities, a lot of practical exposure is there when we get to interact with industry mentors and our seniors who are already placed and the ones who are interning at one of the best companies out there. So right now we are also facing a lot of in other colleges, we are facing a lot of issues with internships as well as placements. But here at SOIL, I think everything is very rest assured. The journey so far has been very smooth with a lot of learning curves. And yeah, so far it's been very good.
All right, that's interesting. Thanks, everyone. I think you've introduced yourself, and of course, all of you have talked about. I know that Shambhavi being in the first year, all three of you are placed. We'll of course talk about placements also, if in case there is a question. But let's just understand, right? All three of you are stellar individuals. Or all four of you, beg your pardon, Shambhavi. At the beginning, we were missing you out. That's the reason. So all four of you are incredible. Let's start with looking at dissecting. Shambhavi is a swimmer, national level swimmer. Ashutosh has worked already in the automobile sector. Alicia was an entrepreneur before joining Soil. Drishti, again, impeccable, the way that she studies and hones her capabilities when it comes to, cracking consulting interviews. So all of you had a profile, a non-academic profile that really showed pedigree, that showed that, all of you knew how you can actually understand the work world better, understand the work around you a little better altogether. So help us understand a little bit more about your profiles. Tell us a little bit more about you. That how was that entire admission cycle process like? How did your experience go? So let's just understand and dissect that also. So it'll be great if all of you can share your admissions, the profile-based selection process review. So maybe we can start, in no particular order. So how was, the interview process like? What were the questions that were asked? Because obviously there's a profile-based evaluation. And like I said, all of you, we've got entrepreneurs, we've got swimmers over here in the panel right now. So tell us a little bit more about, how you need to highlight those aspects as well.
So actually, I gave my interview, I think, in 2021, December. And I found that the interview process or the entire process of Soil was very unique because in SOBD campus, they have also integrated design thinking in the process itself to evaluate the students. So I remember like the first round was GD, and after GD there was a round for design thinking itself where we were provided a problem and then we have to come up with solutions. And they in detail taught us what design thinking exactly was and how we're supposed to solve these problems. And then after the design thinking round, we had our PI rounds, which were taken by our faculties. And I think the PI in the PI round as well, they were looking forward for the students who have, I think, caliber, who showed some kind of potential that they will be able to perform, and some kind of uniqueness that each student have. So they selected the students which had some kind of uniqueness in them, and they showed some kind of caliber.
Now I would like to go next. So, nicely said, Drishti. And when I could recall my interview process, I remember that that some people are very good at with emotional quotient, and some people are good with IQ. But when you're going through a process, it's like a whole criteria when you judge a person, that how the person is going to fit into an environment, or how the person is actually thinks, the creativity level. So I remember when the question was asked to me about the breakdowns that I had in my life. So I really took a time and thought about what were the moments when I felt low, and what were the behaviors that I did to take a stand and come back again. So these are the things that is a part of the curriculum here, that they'll teach you to grow up and be a consistent learner. It's not about you don't know few maths question to solve, then you don't know how to do anything. That you know how to be an emotional question person who can take decisions wisely in an organization. If you have to take a decision, that's how your decision making psychology and your ability comes forward. And I was being judged on that. And in my interview process also, I was interviewed by the CEO of General Electric, and Mr. Dipesh Nandan, and he was there. And he asked me about my likings, and what do I do in my past time, and how I've been having good in achieving good grades in my 10th and 12th standard. I've been a academic achiever. I had a CGPA 10. And so you asked me, how did you manage that? And then I told him about my consistent learning process. And that's how I got selected. Like, you have to be honest about what you have done in your life. It's about how you portray your journey. So that's why was my experience.
Yeah, so talking about me, when I got the chance to appear for the interview for this institute, so first of all, we were divided into two groups. I think we were 32 students in at that time. So we were divided into two groups, and we got a problem statement in which we have to give the solution or pitch the solution to the panel. And the task was to check the problem solving abilities and how better critically you can think about the problem, and also the teamwork you can show up. And after that, we got another problem statement that was about one life essay in which we have to mention two highs and two lows, and then we have to define them and what role they play and what are the learnings we had from those highs and lows in our life. And after that, I had a personal interview with the program chair of PGPM of my analytics cohort, Mr. Devabrata Dasa. So he simply asked me about my first company. I worked in an electric vehicle domain. So he asked me about that, my learnings and what type of work I was doing and what benefits I was able to, or how I'm able to contribute to the company. So that's all my interview and in this process.
To talk about my interview, I'm so sorry, I have to switch my camera off. I have a power outage. But to talk about my interview process, I would say that it feels like it's just yesterday when I gave my interview, and today I'm in soil. It feels like a dream come true for me. And talking about the particular interview process, I think it's very well articulated. The thought process behind building a three-stage process, wherein firstly, you are judged on the basis of how well you can perform in a group discussion, followed by a group exercise, and lastly a PI. So this is a very well thought process, and I think the reason why a lot of industry experts came and designed this particular is to make sure that they're getting the cream sort of candidates wherever they're interviewing and the kind of cohort they're getting in the college. So as far as I recall my interview, my interview was taken by Sangeeta ma'am. And she very aptly put up this question in front of me that Shambhavi, why soil? It is a growing age business school. You must be having a lot of options. Talking a bit about my profile, I had a 999 profile. And so she put this question upon me. And I told her very simply, ma'am, I really like the idea behind soil and this unique thing that they have amalgamated in their entire curriculum, which is of design thinking. So this is generally a subject which is usually talked about and practiced and well preached in colleges like Harvard. So when we're talking about colleges as big as that, and in colleges in India that do not really inculcate a lot of design thinking process, I think soil stands out in this particular process, inculcating it and also transforming a lot of your problem solving capabilities through the design thinking process. So this was about my interview process.
That's very interesting. And also like to highlight, like, because Shambhavi was the last person, and today only we were just having a word regarding something. I wouldn't really like to divulge what was the context, but I think I was absolutely impressed with the thought process, the way that she wanted to take an ethical stand overall. And this is actually very important. I'm sure, be it Drishti, be it Ashutosh, be it Alicia or Shambhavi, you've all actually shown, that ethical quotient also, that leadership quotient as well. And I think we always salute that, and that's something which is primordially important over here. And of course Shambhavi is smiling right now because she's understood what I'm talking to. So that's really nice. Coming to the next leg of question, and before that, of course, there's anonymous attendee asking what's the key difference between PGPM and PGDM. Of course, on the face of it, we say that the PGPM program is an accelerated management program. It is a 1-year capsule MBA program. If you're if you're completely you're well aware about that, yes, it's analytics that you want to major in, or marketing, or human resources, or you want to probably take up finance, then this is the go-to course for you because your specialization is sorted. Whereas the PGDM program is a 2-year program. It's much more well thought out, well put together, which is of course the same thing with the PGPM, but it's like a little more nuanced and stretched, and you're getting 2 years to do that. But tell us your perspective, each one of you. I'd like to understand that what was your basic understanding of how a 1-year and a 2-year program, how are they different, and did it actually meet the expectation that you had? Of course, here I'd like to say at the very beginning, PGPM student, you're not allowed to talk about the toil and hustle that is given to you, especially by professors like ANB sir, right? But please do help us understand that what was your expectation versus what was the actual reality in terms of both the program, the rigor of the program. And it's not that the 2-year MBA program is like easy or lenient. As we're speaking, there's a lot of noise that is because students are still hustling, they're still trying to figure out, they're still in the campus and they're still trying to work out their way. So there's equal amount of, effort that is required. So please help us understand, each one of you, that in your head, what was the key difference between 1 year and 2 year, and did, the expectation actually meet the reality?
Yeah, so talking about 1 year PGPM program. So the basic difference between PGPM program and PGDM program, if I talk about the BLP course, which is Business Leadership Program. So the basic criteria is that you have a minimum of 2 years of experience, first of all. So all the students which are from analytics, marketing, and finance in my batch are having a minimum experience of 2 years. So that is the basic criteria of this program. And also one more difference is that you are coming from a corporate background and you are working over there, and there is a sudden change uh, in your lifestyle, in your living habits, and you are going to study once again. So that is going to a big difference. So you have to cope up with that. And it is a fully packed program, jam packed, and all the content that you will be studying in 2 year, you have to study that in 1 year. So it's kind of a fast-paced program, as already told by Neerja ma'am. And we will be covering all the aspects that we will cover in 2 year program. It's just that it is a bit fast-paced, and you have to adapt it a bit quickly as compared to the PGDM program. So Alicia, if you want to add something else.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Ashutosh. So for PGPM 1 year program, you will have a much more mature peers here who have been done or been in the industry for 2, 3 years. So when you sit with them, you have a brainstorming sessions with them. You'll get to exchange the experience. So that's the major differentiating point here. Your peer learning would be much more experienced, and you'll be much more exposed to different industries they'll come from. And second is that it's a very fast paced program and you have to be on your toes. So if your professor is sending you a case study at 12, you need not to be panic. And if it is like 2:30 a.m., so be prepared for the morning class and just be on your toes. So that's like you will get habitual to it. So the time pressure you'll be through, that's how you have to be in the industry also. You're gonna be working professionals in the coming, we are going to be in 2 3 months. So that's how you learn to cope up with the time pressure and the multitasking thing. So if you are learning doing case study or project in one subject, and then you have something pop up from the other subject, and then you are like managing your teams. It's all about group learning. It's not like you have been an individual person doing the assignments here. You need to be good with people, come forward, initiate the teams and initiate the projects, and be a good leader here. So that's how you will like in 1 year program. I really enjoyed the peer learning here. So that's the strong point, I believe, for a 1 year program, if you cope up with the pressure.
Great. Drishti and Shambhavi?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I would,
after you, Dashti, after you.
yeah. So I would like to share my experience of the 2 year program because I'm almost going to complete it in next 2 months. So I think being a fresher, I think I opted for 2 year program because I'm a fresher and I did not exactly know which domain I wanted to make my career in, and I really wanted to understand how the industries work, different industry and how they work. So I think a 2 year program give you a detailed knowledge of all the domains as well as the industries, and it give you an ample amount of time so that you can actually articulate which domain you want to work in or which industry you work in. And in my case, I think in the first year, like, you have all your domains, your finance, HR, operations, you have to study everything. And I think for a management student, any management student, be it a PGDM or PGPM, it is very important for you to know all the domains. You need to know your finances, your HR, everything. So being a fresher, it is important for you to have a knowledge of all these things. So the first year is completely detailed around all these domains, and then you have your summer internship. That is, I think, where I was able to recognize which domain I actually want to work in. I got the opportunity to work at Dabur for my internship, and during my 2 months program, I have worked in the marketing team as well as the operations team, and that 2 months experience really gave me a broader perspective of how the industry works and what domain or what roles I want to work in. And based on that, I selected my specialization of marketing in the second year. And then the second year is completely dedicated to your specialization, and in the 3 trimesters you will study all your marketing or whichever specialization or domain you would opt for. You will completely study about that, and like it is intensive in PGPM, it is as intensive in PGDM as well. I remember in the first year we used to go to college at 9, come back around 5:30. We would have extracurricular activities, students staying at the campus by 7 or 8 for these kind of activities. So I think it is as extensive as intensive as that. Just the thing is it is more detailed, and you get the chance to properly analyze which kind of what career you want to move forward in.
In my opinion, I rightly agree with Rishti at this point that the program, even though I feel that PGPM is more fast-paced because of the fact that it's a 1 year program, and it's for individuals who already have a lot of experience under the belt and they already know which domain they want to work ahead in. But on the other hand, the PGDM program is for freshers like us who are yet testing the waters of different domains and are fixating their ideas on only one particular domain. So I think both of them are very extensive programs and they keep you on your toes, because I remember I'm in the third semester. We came in the third semester in the brink of an eye. And right now I feel the college runs up to like 6:37. So yeah, that's about it.
Absolutely. I think term 3 is getting hectic for all of you with classes over, till getting over post 6 o'clock for the PGDM campus. Great. So I think all four of you have given us very interesting insights altogether. And of course, hustle is a core part of it because that's how the work world is going to be replicating. Rather, today we were having a podcast discussion with Pinky Goswami ma'am, who teaches a course, which is going to be taught to term 3 students called Psychology for Managers. And she said there's no workload. It's actually work. Load only comes because we have not figured out our calling. And that's something that we really want you all to be prepared. Now, there's a question that is commonly being asked, and I'd like to, understand that question also. This is regarding the hostel. So, of course, here at Soil, we treat you as young adults, and we obviously probably suggest that these are options that you can take, but we don't really provide a hostel accommodation per se, because, in the work world also, the company will not give you an accommodation. They'll just give it to you for a fortnight till the time you figure out, your accommodation yourself. So if both the campuses, like both the set of students can help us understand that how was your hostel experience, because there isn't like a campus approved hostel per se for both the campuses. That's what I have an understanding, but of course if you have a different opinion, please do let me know. But how was that hostel experience, and do you recommend that? Because I'm sure those bonds that you would have created would actually be like Alicia's smiling the most. Drishti is a little like, oh God, no, don't talk about that. Maybe not a very good experience to talk about. And Ashutosh, I think, is keeping it a little smirky. So yeah. So please help us understand the hostel. How was that experience? Because I think you're just 9 to 10 hours in the campus, but the remaining hours you're there with your peers. So please help us understand that aspect as well.
So I would like to take this one. Yeah. So, if you guys are going for a MBA program, it's about group learning, as I have already described it. But if you go back to your places and you're connecting online, then you lose the connection and touch to do your projects and assignments and the fun part too. So in hostel, you guys can come together in a room and you can brainstorm. That's how you learn in an MBA program. It's not about you can read a book and come in the exam or go in a class again and then you like participate in the project. So that's how you will you can do it online also. If you're coming to a campus and doing an offline program, that's how you stay in on hostel together. But that's an option here. But I would suggest you go for a hostel where majority of the students stay there. That's another type of you guys come together to like organize things. That's how you learn to initiate. If you have a festival here, you can can celebrate in hostel and college. That's how you create a bond. And this is the last time you're going for an education program, so that's how you create long-term bonds, and which like it's your future assets that you can use when you go back to your work life. So these will be your bonds and the connection you will use. So I would like, I'm happy staying in a hostel here.
Yeah, so like exactly what Alicia said, that staying MBA is about creating networks, and when you stay with your peers, you create so many networks for your entire life, and you create your bonds. And especially in an MBA program, I think uh, in our case, like the theoretical exams are not given as much importance as the group activities or the practical knowledge, which our faculty give importance to. And for that, you need to work with your group, you need to work with your peers. So it is important that you guys stay together, because it gets quite difficult to connect online, and then also you will not be able to get the first hand experience of working in a group, because anyways we worked online in during COVID, and we had to come back, right? Otherwise things would have worked the way they were working during those 2 3 years. So obviously there is a difference between working online and then working in a physical environment. So yeah, hostel has its own benefits, I will say. And I think one suggestion I would give is that stay close to where your peers are staying, be it a hostel or somewhere else. That will be really helpful, because if you are staying alone out somewhere, it will be a lot of hassle for you to manage every day.
Right. I would totally agree with Drishti and Anisha at this point that when you stay close to your peer mates, you are actually in a very well connected circle. So whatever you need, even if it's medicines at 2 a.m. in the night, you just knock up the next door and they'll be right there. Apart from that, living close to the college has a lot of additional advantages, because I personally know a couple of my colleagues who live very far off in the vicinity of 6 to 7 kilometers. And during the scorching June or the chilly winters, it's a hassle to travel that long. So I think the closer you stay, it's better. Plus, when you're joining college in June, as it is, it's very overwhelming to, interact with new people. And a good way to bond with people is to live with them and socialize a bit. So I think that is way better than, shunting out, scorching June and trying to socialize with people at the same time. So, yes.
Yeah, totally agree. I agree. And one thing I just want to mention over here. I think around 80 or 90% of the activities of the assignment that you will be getting are totally group assignments. So for that, you need your team with you. You need to discuss some points over there. You need to come to a conclusion, and you can't do all these things staying away from college or staying in a separate place. So a hostel is a place where you can come up all together, and you may get a better output as well. And you also have to organize some events and activities as well in your year, which are going to play an important role in your holistic development. And for that, also team bonding comes over here. We have celebrated all the birthdays all together, partying in the hostel, studying as well. So a hostel is a place which can give you a family vibe as well. So that is how hostel is kind of very important. So choosing a hostel near to a college is very convenient as well, and you can get your family members over here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the most sane piece of advice everybody is given, of course, and Ashutosh has given you like a reality check, and a very humble person that's trying to tell you that how important it is, right? Ashutosh, I think that was incredible. Great. I see a question, and before we move on to the next part of it, a question which is regarding placements. Of course, like the highest. This is Divaja Singh who's asking this question. That of course, Divaja, there is of course 100% placement assistance that is given. And the highest this year, Drishti, correct us if we are going wrong, is MFI Finance, Rohan. That is 27 lakhs plus 3 lakhs component, that international placement. And all three of them, and like I said, Shambhavi is in first year. But I think as luck would have it, all the three panelists who are there from the second and the PGPM program are all placed. Ashutosh placed at Volvo Aisha, Alicia at Connect, and Drishti at Axis Bank. And Drishti particularly, it can become like, your go-to mentor if you want to get trained for consulting interviews, because she has like, the case books of all the the IIMs at the back of our mind, at the back of our fingertips altogether. That's of course there. But having said that, this is a question that I'd like to ask all of you that, unfortunately, the job that you get after your MBA college, the hard reality is that you're not going to be sticking to that job for a very long time. And we've got the alum data as well. But still, there's a lot of, and when you talk about, placements abroad colleges, like, in the US or even in Europe, you don't even get placement support, right? You have to get it
Yes, exactly.
facilitated yourself. So how rational do you think it is that, to just figure out the merit of a college? Of course, like here, the placements are touchwood sane, but then how justified it is to just, devalue the student experience and, just consider the overall placement bracket to be the only criteria. What are your opinions, everyone, in this regard? And what was placement the only criteria that you were thinking when you jumped, the bandwagon, and you thought that, okay, let's just go ahead and, take up the soil offer letter? So what was your selection criteria? What was it? Because I'm sure MBA would have been on the horizon for all four of you. So how did you decide? Were placements the only criteria? And you can be honest.
Honestly,
You can be
yeah,
honest.
like honestly saying, obviously everybody thinks about getting a good ROI when you are investing a large amount of sum. But I think my opinion, or like my criteria for selecting soil, was that it had a very unique curriculum to it. And they did not only focus on academics, they focused on the holistic development of their students. Like they have programs like social innovation program and social immersion programs, which I think that provided a really holistic experience to their students. And the students were able to develop leadership skills, communication skills, team building skills. So not just academic, but they also focused on building networks, building skills in their students, so that even if, like ma'am said, that they students do not stick up to the placement for a very long time, so even if they don't do, they have the skills, they have the knowledge to pursue their career elsewhere. Yeah, I would say that.
Right. And what about the rest of you? What was your deciding factor? And I think that's very honest that of course ROI is important. It shouldn't be that, it's taking you donkey years to, get the ROI back. That I think is absolutely unfair. Rather, the degree should be making you competent enough to, get that ROI. That's absolutely true. What about others? Like, what was? Tell us. Maybe Alicia, you can share, or Ashutosh, you can share, because Ashutosh, you already had 3 years or work experience, right? Close to about 3 years of work experience, 2.8 years of work experience. Alicia, you were running a very successful coffee business, right, in your hometown. So why did you probably? I'm sure placements would, or were they the criteria?
Actually, talking, yeah, Alicia, if you want to go first.
You go, Ashutosh, start.
Okay, thank you. So, talking about me, choosing an MBA program is just because I want to have an understanding of business as well. I'm very keen to start my own business at some point of time. So, I thought it's better to have some knowledge of how a business works, how accounting work, how analytics work, how to market a product, how to develop a product. All these things I need to know. And for this, I think MBA program is kind of a thing which can give all the knowledge in one go. And that's why main criteria of choosing this MBA program. And specifically this 1 year MBA, because I was already working. I had a work experience of around 3 years. So I thought I can grasp all the things in a year and maybe able to understand how the business aspects of any product, of anything. So that's my main criteria of choosing this 1 year MBA program.
So I'll go next. My decision making factor was I physically visit this campus, and I was very skeptical for investing my time and money into a MBA program. That day, I accidentally met our founder, Mr. Anil sir, and he was like, he just called up, who is this girl in this campus? And I thought, oh my God, I got trapped. So I had a very nice conversation with him, and I felt that there is no hierarchy here. And if you have something in you, you can go straight to this person and you can express your. If you want to do something in college, there's no there's freedom to express your your ideas here. And I felt connected with him that day, and I thought that, yeah, this is how I want to learn. I want to put my opinions, I want to put my ideas forward and make a change. So if you have a platform there where you can put your ideas forward and you can actually do something on ground, this is how you learn. This is how you show your leadership skills. So that changed my, and I changed my skeptical mind to a fully decisive thing, that I want to join this program, 1 year program. I want to take this rigorous curriculum in my hand, and I will like prove myself to do something extraordinary here. Thank you.
Great. What about
As very rightly and aptly, as very rightly and aptly explained by my seniors, I feel that this is a very crucial time wherein a lot of candidates who appear consider the fact that, am I really going to get the ROI, or is it going to be like a, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yeah, your voice is a little
Yeah.
garbled, child, but yeah, maybe because of the choppy internet connection. Uh,
Okay. Is it better now?
Much better, much better. I'm able to hear. I hope others are also able to hear Shambhavi. Okay, perfect. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes. So, but the time I got my offer letter, I was very excited, and I got to visit the campus physically. And personally, I also know a lot of adults in the college who are doing very well and in what place have very good packages. But however, at the end of the day, I never really treated college as a placement agency. It was always about holistic development and all total learning and becoming into like a total quality person when I graduate. So, yeah, that is about it.
Absolutely, absolutely right. I see a lot of these questions, like, the batch size, the current batch size that we have for the PGPM program is 115 of them. Correct me if I'm going wrong with any of the numbers. And the batch size for the PGDM is 300 people. One student, of course, went to New Zealand, so that made it 299. The exam score is also another question that I'm able to see in the Q&A. So because we are an AICTE approved campus, the PGDM, we of course want a test score that is mandatory. The cutoffs for the test scores, you can definitely speak with the admissions team. They can help you out. But definitely, if your profile is better, you will definitely be getting a competitive edge over a person whose test scores are good. Whereas for the PGPM program, a test score will always give you a competitive edge, but your profile is sacrosanct for the PGBM. So this was another layer question. Admissions timeline, 80% of both the batches, the PGPM, PGDM are usually selected by this application deadline. We've got the Jan 20th application deadline. And largely previous historical data has shown that, in the past 2 to 3 years, majority of like I said, 80% of the batches already selected by this deadline. So Jan 20th is the timeline. And post that, the admissions team of both the colleges, both the campuses are going to be in touch with you. And yes, in the PGDM, dual specialization is there. You've got a major and minor concept. This was also a question that I saw. However, I would love to hear Ashutosh and Alicia's views. What about your specialization for the PGPM? Is dual specialization possible there as well?
So in PJPM, you need to choose one major cohort and one minor. So I'm having major in analytics and minor in marketing. So that's how it works in BLP. For HRLP, you only have to study for HR courses only. As so, Alicia is major in marketing and minor in analytics. So same way, I'm major in analytics, minor in marketing. So as talking about me, so if I'm having 10 subjects, so 6 will be of core analytics and 4 will be of marketing. So that's how it works.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
so
Yeah, please go ahead, Alicia.
yeah, I would like to add some more point to Ashutosh. Like, if you have taken a major specialization in marketing, that's not like you're going only with your subject. You have the freedom to go to finance classes and analytics classes. So I have taken minor in analytics, and I put more time into analytics because I have like background of management or a management background. So I understand my marketing concepts, but I need to relate my marketing concepts to the analytics. Then I also relate this marketing strategies to finance strategies. You learn how to, like, overall how a company works or how a business works. So you need to put your mind to all the concepts and interrelate the concepts, and just like how to apply in the real life scenarios. So,
Right, that's interesting. Okay, great. There is, of course, another question that is regarding cutoffs. I've already said that, your profile based selection criteria is there, and the admissions team can be reached out for respective NMAT, CMAT, and CAT cutoffs also. Okay, now there's another interesting, topic before we kind of come to the close of the webinar, and that is, of course, what does a typical day in both the campuses look like? You've talked about the hustle part, and a lot of you are smiling right now, but how is it academic versus non-academic activities, societies? I know that there are over 15 plus thriving clubs in the PGPM campus, both a blend of academic, non-academic, the same number or rather more in the PGDM campus as well, with new clubs and committees being formed. So how does the typical day look like for all of you, and what are the recommendations, because in management program, what I've seen is, in your undergrad, you're very proactively engaged in all the student run activities, but at the management level, you're probably only excited to enter the placement committee, and that's the most coveted committee altogether, but that's so unfortunate, because that's like a very narrow approach of thinking. So how does a typical day for all four of you look like? How do you balance your me time also? So just tell us about typical day in both the campuses. So in no particular order, anyone can start taking it. Shambhavi, because you're smiling the most, maybe if you want to start this question.
Sure, ma'am. So the day sharp starts at for my particular day starts sharp at 7:30 because I need to report at the campus 8:45 for the morning circle. Again, a morning circle is a very well thought process that we practice at the PGDM campus, wherein all of us in the morning come stand in a circle, we share some good thoughts, value lessons, and we start our day with a good thought and a good push. Followed by that, we have 4 classes majorly. Right now in the third semester, we are also having 5 classes. All the classes are approximately of 1.5 hours with a 15-minute break in every single class. And the break ranges between 30 to 45 minutes. The classes, I think out here, Anil sir is very involved in taking the self-leadership classes. And the self-leadership classes was something which was very moving for me, and at the same time because Anil sir comes from one of the best consulting backgrounds out here, which it's regular day. Then when I come back home, I just sit back, relax, and in myself. But again, because the teacher program and teachers as well as group mates can hit you up with a lot of work even at 10, 11 at night. So you need to be very proactive at the same time. So this is how like a typical day looks like, and I'm really enjoying so far. Thank you.
Okay, so
You want to go
talking
first?
about my day, I think as Shambhavi said, that they have 4 classes in a day. It is a little easier in the second year, like we don't have so many classes in a day. But the thing is, even if we don't have classes, each class will have assignments which you will be indulging in the evening after your classes. So it's like that. And your second, my second year basically looks like the entire focus is on specialization. So I am major in marketing and my minor is analytics. And belonging to a management background, I do not have a lot of knowledge in analytics. So you actually, in second year, you actually have the time to work upon building those skills. Okay, so the second year is about building your skills. So I would agree that I don't have a lot of technical knowledge. So in my second year, I have spent a lot of time in building my knowledge and skills in the analytical area and studying the concepts of marketing at the same time. So that is how my second year is going so far.
So for I would like to go for PGPM. So it's like the day is similarly like PGDM program, but it is more filled with classes and assignments, so you don't have a break like PGDM program has. So other than academics, we have some clubs running on, and I'm leading a marketing club here. So I would like to share one activity that we are planning to do. Like, we have organized a branding challenge. So that's like quite makes your campus experience exciting if you organize such events and take participation in that. So it's like we keep on doing such activities, and we organize daily peer learning sessions. So in that, we invite students to share their experience and what have they done in their work ex, so that people who actually study here get to know that their peers are coming from. So these kinds of activity, every club, not only marketing, there are mental wellness club also. So when you want to discuss or talk about emotional well-being, so we have a club here, so you can go and talk to your friends here. And finance club also keep on organizing that activities. So it's like with academics, you keep on doing extraordinary extracurricular activities that say keep your experience like experiential learning better. So Ashutosh, if you'd like to add other things here, we do.
Yeah, sure. So similar to the PGDM campus, we have a morning circle first, starting from 8:50. Then start classes started from 9:15, and as the PGDM campus have four classes, four of different subjects. We only have two subjects. Each subject will be having a 3 hour session divided into two parts. So, and in between, we also got 1 hour break. We also have one student council, which is, as both the campuses are totally student-run campuses. So in PGDM campus and in PGM camp, we also have student council, and student council makes sure that the club activities and all the type of extracurricular activity that will be going to held in the campus will go by a smooth process, and more not only the academic activities, but we also got the opportunity to participate in extracurricular activities as well. Like Alicia mentioned, there is a branding challenge, and we also celebrated Lohori last week as well. So all those activities are there. We will be enjoying ourselves. We will be studying as well. So there is a, you can say a balanced mix of academic and non-academic activities.
Great. I think all of you have summed up the life altogether and telling us, when you got those pocket of relief times, like Drishti was saying that, the second year has been a little big breather altogether, whereas the first year was much more packed. And of course, Ashutosh and Alicia sharing their bits and Shambhavi also adding to that. Great. Before we go ahead and conclude, any last minute tips and tricks that you'd like to give to the aspirants, because they are about to make an important decision in their career of opting for their management education. So any piece of advice, again, in no particular order, anybody can go. Any piece of advice that you'd like to give to them?
Like one advice that I would like to give is, like, if you are not sure which domain you want to work in, or if you are coming from a different background, you are looking for a career switch, you're coming from an IT background and an engineering background, I would suggest you take a PGDM course, because it is a 2 year PGDM course, because it is a little slow paced. You will be able to understand what are your strengths, what are your weakness, which domain actually you like to work in, what uh, things interest you, and then you will be able to make a calculated decision for yourself. So do not make a hasty decision and then regret it later. Rather, take your time, and yeah, that would be my suggestion for all of you.
So one advice from me is, like, if you ever got an opportunity, try to express yourself as much as you can, because the more you express, the more you learn. And there are people in both the campuses who can give you true feedbacks. So if you are getting an opportunity to express your feelings, your thoughts, do it, do it.
My advice would be like, if we make a huge investment in our education, like we should talk to who are actually studying there. So go connect to the people or alumni or learn more about this college. And second, make a mindset of learning. So if you come here, be motivated every day. You have to push yourself to learn new things every day. So it would be a very exciting journey. You'll learn a lot of things, but you need to keep up with the pace and the skills that you want to enhance before going into the industry or going back into the industry. So these are the two advices. And so sleep, you have to manage with your sleep. So don't crib about like sleeping for less hours. So be maintain your health and be focused when you join an MBA program.
My piece of advice would be when you are coming to this particular program, come with a very open mindset. Bring your canvas very neat and clean, because out here it's going to be an all new story, an all new world. You are going to know new facets of yourself every single week when you're going to explore and get indulged in different experiences. Come with a very open and a welcoming mindset.
Absolutely. You should be, like John Locke says, like a tabula rasa, because this is going to be like a really important juncture in your career. I see questions related to a lot of other aspects. Please feel free to reach out to the respective admissions team. They will be more than happy to help you out. Thanks all four of you. I know all of you had busy, hectic schedules, but you still made it a point that, you're going to be there answering all the questions related to 1 year versus 2 year program. So again, just to encapsulate, the 1 year program is an apt fit for somebody who's clarity as to what domain they want to select versus somebody who's not having surety. Of course, a 2 year program gives you access to experiment that 1 year. And of course, if you're having work experience, then, it's more like the 1 year program is giving you a better opportunity cost within like 12 months of time itself. So obviously, that is, of course, the other thing that we're having. Great. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Thank you so much, Shambhavi, Drishti, Ashutosh, Alicia. I think all four of you have been a great panel host. Thanks, Harsha and the team, for helping us organize the webinar. And best of luck, everyone. Please feel free to reach out to the respective admissions team to make sure that you get more clarity as to the other parts that you had questions regarding. Fine. All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.